Was the time Tunzi saying, but I'm not sure about this one.
Nah, it was him. It
Yeah.
was him. Tunzes was hard on me, to a point of thinking that this guy doesn't like me.
Sure.
I'm a strong believer that you have to learn to play first and then discipline, so that it balances it nicely. When I tell people that my wife and I, we actually had our break. So that means it's a combination of my work as an individual, her work as an individual. We only got a break in 2018. That's recent.
That's very recent.
Yeah, I've been around for a while, An obsession around titles is really spoiling things for us because some people are calling themselves producers, but they are not producers. If you as an artist, you hire me, you give me R500,000 for a project, and I bring some money back to you and say, man, use this for marketing. Because there's still a journey after.
Ooh, a big one.
Yeah.
Actually, that's where the work starts. Eh?
Oh, bro, I'm telling you, how great will that be? And it secures you. It secures me. The next gig. Because you know that I want to work with that guy. He's fair, he's straightforward. His yes is yes, his no is no.
Yeah.
So when I get there, I'm like, oh my God, it's pie. Oh my God. Yo. Yeah, that was difficult because it was the first time for us to lose a sibling. I never thought something like that would happen. He was my older brother. He was more of a light in our home. Musicians must start giving time. Let's start there. Aye, guys, we can't always be receivers, man. I think we exclude ourselves so much as in the body of Christ. Yeah. It's like, I'm just here to play this keyboard. It's like when the pastor is preaching, is not talking to me, he's talking to them.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us today on the Gospel Reality Podcast. And today I'm very excited. Like, when you hear people talk about a person and then you experience them, not really for the first time, but in close proximity, and you realize, wow, there are still some good PKs in town. But before we go there, ladies and gentlemen, our song of the week today is Khawugelo Zibonakalise. And this past weekend, I went to her concert, her album launch at the State Theatre. Man, oh man, was it fireworks. I really enjoyed myself. But ladies and gentlemen, please tell your friends, your neighbors, your uncles, your friends, your parents that they must subscribe to the Gospel Reality Podcast, where we keep current affairs of the gospel community real right about here. And most importantly, we have conversation. And today I'm having a conversation with a person I admired from, I can't say when I was young because he's not that old, but his work feels like he lived 5 generations. This man has done the most. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about none other than Nqubeko Mbatha. My good sir.
My good sir.
Did I try you there?
Huh?
When I say you lived 5 generations.
Hey, yeah, no, I feel old. But I've been around, but not. There's still more to do. Let me put it that way.
No, definitely. But I'm just saying, with the time that you've had, my pastor yesterday was preaching about, it's not about how old you are, it's about the time that God has given you, what impact.
What are you doing? Yeah.
So that's basically the reason why I said I need to have a conversation with a PK. Was Petega. How are you doing, my good sir?
I'm great, thanks, man. I'm blessed. Thank you so much for having me. Greetings to all your viewers out there.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. There are some people who shall when you invite them. So some people will surprise you. Like Takindo, I said, please come through. He says, okay, when?
Just like that.
And even with him, Babu Mbatha, when? And you and Taki, on time. But I appreciate your professionalism. Your communication is clear. Your punctuality.
No, thank you.
Normally 30:30. Hey, we're getting lost.
Oh, hey. Oh, please forgive us.
But thank you very much, ne?
That's a
and
pleasure.
On Facebook, I know it's quite recent. When your mom passed away, you feel like, Konja, I'm not that close. You feel like because you've been a part of my adulthood.
Yes.
Looking up to you, obviously. I felt like I must say condolences, and I feel like this is my opportunity. So condolences. Losing a mom is not easy.
I know it's not easy, man. But God is our strength, man.
Ne?
Yeah, thank you.
But I saw you had support, eh?
No, we had good support,
Yeah.
family support. I think God has blessed us with family.
Ne?
No, I won't complain.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you know, when I was doing research on this man, Pons, I saw something that triggered, and I promised myself today, I'm not going to talk about your wife. Ne?
Okay.
For those who don't know his wife, Hashem.
Sorry.
So his wife wrote a caption, Pons, ne? I think he was turning 40 a couple of years ago.
Ooh, that was a long one.
And then he said, one of the things I love about Nqubeko is he has never broken my heart.
Sure.
Hey, man.
Yeah, I saw that one. I'm like, oh my God, please
Yo.
help me.
You know, every time I see those, I go to my wife. I'm like, how far are we? Hey, this one I couldn't ask you.
Hey.
Huh?
She wrote 40 of them.
40
I'm
of
like,
them.
oh my God.
But that one stuck out for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, never broken a heart.
It's a big one.
It's a very
It's a big one.
Yeah.
I know that's a big keep. That's a big
Yeah.
keep.
Ah, man.
But let me tell you, Ponsone, everyone I spoke to and I called, but yeah, the way he is, that's how he is.
Yeah.
There's no gray areas.
Yeah.
I was like, they talking, eh?
Yeah.
I'll find something.
Yeah.
Born proper.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get into it. But before we go past this one, is it true that your wife was the first lady you dated?
I know.
It's not true.
That's not true.
Ah,
I've never dated a lot of girls. Maybe about 2, maybe before her.
really?
But man,
Those guys said to
it-
me, this
it-
man
it just-
dated.
it-
Was the first
it
girlfriend.
just wouldn't work out. Also because of my background as well.
Yeah.
We were told that when you start dating, it's for marriage. So, and also we were raised to ukusaba amantombazane. Beswasaba thina amantombazane.
Vele, assemblies, vele.
Yeah, well, so I won't lie to you. I think during my tertiary days, there were ladies that I liked and
Yeah.
I've spoken to, and we started spending time together, but within
Confined.
the confines of being a children of God. But I
Yeah.
was thinking I'm gonna marry any of them, but it
Yeah.
just never. I remember one day I was walking in Durban with one of these ladies. I've never spoken about my relationship before my wife. This will really spark a lot of things on social media. So I met this guy who's my uncle in town. So we're walking, with this lady, and then I introduced her. I didn't say polite,
Yeah.
she's my girlfriend, because you don't do that.
Yes.
Yeah, well, and then so the lady passes on, and she moved
No,
forward, and then
what passes on?
not dying. I mean, she passed. She took a few
Yeah,
steps
yeah.
and let me be with my uncle. And my uncle said, "Listen, Mshana, this is not the one. This is just still the heat of the youth, but this is not the one." I was so offended. But she was right.
He was right. yeah?
So yeah, people like to say a lot of things about me, trying to create this perception that I'm a perfect person who's never made mistakes or doesn't make mistake in my life. I don't blame them. Maybe that's how they see my life to be, or they want me to be that kind of a person. But my life has been, man, it's just been the grace of God. I've made my youth mistakes as well. Um, maybe not like the most because I received salvation at a very young age.
Yes,
And
yes.
God has really preserved me. And with so whatever mistake that I was making it within
The confines.
the preservation of God's grace. So He has really helped me and covered me, and He's still helping me today to be a man that I am, a man that I aspire to be. Some of the things are between me and God, some of the things are between me and my wife. She knows me, she lives with me, she sees me every day. She's the one who's patient with me every day, So sometimes I fear when I hear of how people perceive me, but I can't blame them, But people should know that I have my own struggles as well, things that make me go to God every day and say, Lord, please help me. I want to be a better man. I want to be a man of God, a true man of God. Let me put it that way, because sometimes we can model a certain kind of lifestyle for people to see,
Yeah.
but God knows our hearts,
Yeah.
So I'm blessed to have, done my best to live the kind of life that I lead. and to be an example to the many. But I tell you, I'm a man who always cries to God for mercy every day. Lord, help me to maintain this kind of life, to be a true man of God. Let me put it that
Ne?
way, you know, to run away from things that will
Yeah.
compromise the gospel, you know. So God has really been my help. I can't really take much credit for it
Wow.
because I know myself.
Yeah, but the fact that you try, you know, but I don't know if you know this man. Um, when you're in music, the only thing people think of is music workshops.
Yeah.
But when you go to different areas and put together prayer groups for men, and musicians come and attend, you don't play. It's just when I saw that, I was humbled because even Joseph Makola does this similar thing as well.
Okay.
I was like, okay, bayathandaza ngempela la bantu.
I think I've realized it with my own life, you know. I think we have enough discussions and talks about music. There's just so much, even on social media, on YouTube, where you can just, if you want to know how to grow as a keyboard player, just Google, you'll find a
You'll
video
find a
that
lot.
talks about that, you know.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that our churches don't do enough as far as and encouraging our men, especially musicians, to pray. But I'm just doing my part,
Ne?
you know, based on my personal testimony, where I have realized that for most of my life, I've spent my time developing my skill as a musician. And there was some sort of neglect to my spiritual development. And most of these things that I know today and I live by today, I feel like I learned them a little bit late. So had I learned these things in my 20s, I'm grateful for the man that I am, but I still feel I would be a different man from the spiritual point of view, a
Ne?
different minister. Uh, I know I have impact, and I'm grateful to God for that, you know. But I feel like had I, you know, I'm not even gonna say and known those things because they were taught to me, but they were just not an area of focus for me. I just wanted to be the best musician that I can be, you know.
Yes.
I just wanted to kill.
Go check.
Yeah, we will check and I wanted the chops, which is good, you
It's
know.
great,
But
yeah.
I feel like I'm trying to influence the younger generation to be a better me at my age, you know. So I believe spiritual development and maturity it's something that we as musicians who are men should aspire for the same way we aspire to be great musicians. You know, I believe in that because I've seen what he has done in my life. Some of the good things that I see in my life, it's because of that. You know, uh, you can be a witness to me that we see a lot of great musicians,
Great, yes.
you know, but they're just not moving forward. And the reason why is the spiritual maturity, you know. The Bible talks about the fact that your gift will open room for you and place you with kings, with great people. I'm paraphrasing. But we've realized that our characters, they just mess things up. There are a lot of guys that I would love to work with, but I just love their skill.
Yeah.
But I can't work with them
Because of the
you know,
character.
because of the character. And spiritual maturity takes care of those kinds of things. Learning to pray. Prayer does a lot of things to us. I'm telling you now that it's impossible to be an unforgiving Christian if you have a prayer life. Because the first thing when you say, Our Father, it's like the video plays like, you know, you have an issue with that brother. You need to call him. You didn't treat that lady well as a Christian brother. You gave him the wrong signals. He must have misinterpreted what you were saying or what you were doing. That's not the way of doing it. You must apologize. In prayer, we learn to apologize even to our wives. You know. So prayer does a lot of things to you. You know, prayer reminds you of what your pastor spoke about yesterday, that you promised yourself that I need to deal with this. And it's like when you start praying, like, oh my God, I remember. And you start writing things down about your personal life, you know. So we have a responsibility to grow and no one can do this for us. When I started taking myself seriously, my spiritual maturity seriously, I saw things changing in my life, you know. And I tell you, there's opposition as well.
Of course.
Yeah, but you become stronger. So as it pushes towards you, you push forward, you know. So, man, I desire this for for all men, especially those who are in my industry.
No, I promised myself that I need to attend at least one. Because you guys were in Bloemfontein for the last one.
Yeah, I just did Bloemfontein,
Bloemfontein.
in October. Yes,
Yeah,
I did
I need to attend at least one.
Yeah,
So-
that'll be more.
So let me tell you, how I met. The first time I was in close proximity with Nqubeko Mbatha, ne?
Yeah.
So I was working for a big company. We're doing sound for Joyous, ne?
Yeah.
Sun City.
Ooh, Joyous days.
Joyous. And then, so because I'm a bit of a musician, nyana,
Yeah.
nothing to this level, but nyana. So I went to the keyboard. I think I was playing Autumn Leaves. No, Thelonious Monk. But the chords were not coming together, ne? But the part where you start walking as the band, it's when I'm messing up my chords. Then I raise my head, I sing Nqubeko coming. I don't stop, Mfana, I don't stop.
I don't
I don't know what you look like. I don't know what you look, man. I'm no,
my
sorry,
God.
sorry. Sorry, man. I was just, Mfana, Isha. Wait. And let me tell you, every time I'd run into you, you'd remember me. You'd know where this guy is from.
Yeah, like,
but you'd greet me.
I know this
You're like,
gentleman.
I know, like what you did when you got here.
Yes, yeah.
Wow. And then I went on to hear stories about you, right? No, Nqubeko has had it easy, man. Came out of college and Joyous was handed to him. I was like, I don't think there's a musician who can say they've had it easy,
Yeah,
right?
not in this country.
Not in this country.
Nah.
Did you have it easy in the industry?
Yo, no. It's never easy, man. I had a privilege of going to school.
Yes.
So I'm from a Christian family, musical family. My father bought us a keyboard in 1993. That's when I started. I was 12. I don't know, that could be easy for someone else. Like, oh, that's easy. You have parents who are buying you a keyboard, So we're to learn. We're four boys. But I was the one who was more interested in this music thing. And then when I finished my matric, grade 12, I wanted to do music as a career. And thank God, my parents, though I know they didn't have full understanding of what it meant, but they just let me go. I believe that they heard from God about me because parents know. So I had a privilege of going to school. That might be easy for someone else, but I tell you, even that during that, my parents were not rich to afford university. We are five at home. So, but my father is a man of faith. So I went to school to study. I had my own issues in school where sometimes you're running out of school fees. Applied for bursaries here and there. You get a bursary this year for the semester, you don't get it next year. You apply for NEFSAS. The normal, that we all
normal
know.
stuff,
And then during my final year at school, Pastor Jabu Hlongwane approached me to be part of his band. He's from my hometown, Eskawi. Yeah.
You're from H1, eh?
He's from J1. I'm from H1.
Yes.
So I actually heard that he went to my home to look for me.
You,
And they told me, that boy is in Durban. He's in school. He's not here. So I would say, So, and then I started working with him in his band. Nabo Puntu Tugo, Nabo Putulan Shezi, Abo Putabang Mshweshwe, the late Begabona. I might be forgetting another musician. And then from there, he introduced me to Joyous Celebration. That was when I was doing my that was, I think, after a year of working with him, he introduced me to Joyous Celebration. I was so excited, but I always wanted to work with JC, but as a singer, not as I just didn't see myself qualifying to be part of that band. It was during the years of Concord.
Mthunzi.
Mthunzi was still playing. Ntutugo. The late
Kwazi
Shange, no Nqubeko on drums. Hey, bro, solid band. I think Annie Smith was also there. So when he said, because he just told us within his band, you are joining Joyous Celebration, just like that. So I never auditioned. Okay, that's easy for someone. But it's the favor of God. But also, I would want to say, without taking from the favor of God, we have a responsibility to play because he must have been watching me when I was working with him.
Of course.
In his band.
Of
That I
course.
qualified, though I didn't see myself qualifying. But my first few years with JC were difficult. I remember after my first gig with them, I wanted to leave.
Ne?
Yeah.
Was the time Tunes is saying, but I'm not sure about this
Nah,
one.
it was him. It
Yeah.
was him. Tunzes was hard on me, to a point of thinking that this guy doesn't like me.
Sure.
In fact, I remember after the first show, it was at the Civic Theatre, it was still called Civic Theatre.
Yeah, yes.
I was a third keyboard player because they never had a guitar player. So so I was sharing a hotel room with two Puntutuos Bis.
Puntutuos Bis,
Yes.
yes.
So so after the show, we were called into some sort of an office, and like Umtunzo Tsetisa, he was not happy. He's saying, even because you remember, just would do like 5 shows
Yeah.
conservatively,
Yeah.
like Friday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So he was saying, tomorrow I'm not even gonna do my set.
Sure.
That's how angry he was. And I'm like, oh my God, what is happening here? I come from school, man, and I
Yeah.
was one of the best students.
Yes.
I know that I can play. And what is happening now, So I went to the hotel and I was with the Puntotu. I was like, I don't think this thing is for me. And immediately I got a phone call from Fundisu Jabuhlongwana. He's like, hey, brah, Nqubeko, forget about everything that was spoken there at the office. Tomorrow siyasebenza. That's it. That was it for me.
Ne?
For the couple of those few years, maybe about 2-3 years of me with Joyous celebration, it was just hard.
Tell me, was it not the clash? Because when you listen to Mtunzi Number, you listen to Baba Mtunzi, you listen to Tutuko Space, they've got a classical background. When I listen to them, their playing was more classical. Then you came with the jazz.
Jazz influence.
Was it? What do you think it was? It was.
I would say maybe that could have been that could be one of the reasons.
Yeah.
But also, man, I don't think I was delivering at the level that was expected at that time. I still needed to learn
Ne?
so much, because it's different when you're in school and when you're in the field. I still needed to unlearn some things and learn some things. I remember one of the things that they would say, because most of the time my role would be when Pastor Number is singing, when he doesn't want to play, so I had to cover him.
Oh yes.
So sometimes because of this is how we taught mostly in school. We're taught discipline, So I've realized as well that most guys, they learn discipline before they learn how to play. So they discipline people who can't really deliver. I'm a strong believer that you have to learn to play first and then discipline, so that it balances it nicely. So one of the biggest issues that my playing was very timid. So there was a say that I hated, that Mfundisi Number in Mfundisi Hlongwane would say, they would say Dlala Baba. And I'm like, I'm playing. But they're saying Dlala Baba. So clearly there must have been something wrong that I was doing there. I was playing, but probably my expression was not audible enough for them. I was playing for myself because my argument would be, I can hear myself. They say, but we can't hear you. So I had to learn that you're not playing for yourself.
I see.
You're playing for the people. So I had to learn to just get rid of that being timid as a player. Just how Mtunzi used to be when he plays.
Yeah.
Had control on the piano. When he does his introductions, you'd hear that something is coming.
Yes.
So I had to learn all of those kinds of things from him through observation and also through a lot of reprimand that I was receiving after each and every show.
Ne? So it wasn't that, it was not easy for you at all.
It was difficult. And you said we're not going to talk about my wife, but when I started having a relationship with her, I actually realized that it was the same for her. Mtunzi was just hard on us in our separate worlds because we're not together then, but we're both in Joyous celebration.
Yes.
But he was very hard on us to a point of tears sometimes, especially for Ntokozo, I really was convinced that Number hated me, but I was asking myself, why are they keeping me? Sometimes you'll be reminded that you must not forget that you are being paid for being here.
And it's very true.
Yeah, which is the truth. I'm paid to deliver.
Yeah.
That's this is the reason why. This is the reason why I don't understand guys today. They are very weak and easily offended. When they always demand
Yeah.
what comes to them while the delivery is not
Doesn't
at the
make-
level.
yes.
So we were raised by people who were telling us that, like, if you don't deliver, there's 10 other people out there who want
Waiting
your
for this
space,
spot.
which was the truth.
Very true.
Yeah, so you really had to work hard to earn your space.
Wow. Did you hear, ne?
Yeah.
No. So I just wanted to get that misconception, Luti. It was easy for you, ne?
No.
I don't know if I can talk about this, but people think when you are at the top there, the money is also that good.
Nah. Yes.
Like when I talk to producers, a lot of them that I've spoken to, but that one had it easy. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about. You'll tell me, ne? There was a point you nearly actually lost your house because things were not
Where
going.
did you hear that from?
Leave that story. You never lost your house. After paying for so long, and you're sitting there, you've got your wife and kids, and you had to hustle to save your house.
I've learned, this is the truth. People
Yeah.
we always see these things on social media that say, trust the, what is it? The
processes,
process.
yeah.
Yeah. It's the truth. Sometimes you are not really, what's an opposite of doing well?
Right?
Yeah. Sometimes you are doing very well.
Yeah.
It's just that it takes time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are doing well in whatever.
But financially, it does not reflect.
Yes, yeah.
Where you are.
But you're not there yet.
Yes.
So it takes time. It's the process. It's how
Yeah.
things work.
Yeah.
It takes longer than people anticipate it to take. When I tell people that my wife and I, we actually had our break. So that means it's a combination of my work as an individual, her work as an
work,
individual. We only got our break in 2018. That's
did.
recent.
That's very recent.
Yeah, I've been around for a while, before that, it's been, I remember, oh my God, 2015 is the worst for us, and during 2015 we recorded and released Spirits and Life.
Yes.
That was the big project.
Big project.
We put so much money on that project. We put so much faith. We call it our faith project. But I tell you, after doing that project, there were so many regrets. Did we really have to overstretch ourselves that much?
And the venue was sold. The music was
Yeah,
great.
yeah, exactly.
Where's the money?
Yeah, exactly. Where's the money? But the money is in the production. You know better.
100%.
Yeah.
So, what kept you and your wife together when we're doing all these great things? They want to take the house.
There's
What's
no car.
happened?
There was a time when there was no car.
There was no car.
Yes,
I
yeah.
want to go there. Like, now there's no car.
Yeah.
And then you need to get to rehearsals.
Yes.
People are waiting for you. I don't even want to talk about after a DVD when musicians want their money. I don't even want to talk
Oh, bruh.
about that
Bruh.
part.
We are blessed to have
Yeah.
worked. This is one of the reasons why we keep the same guys, because there's a sort of understanding with. They know our hearts. So when I say there's no money, they know that I'm not. I'm not trying to take advantage of them. So, and what we have learned also is to be honest, because sometimes it's not about money; it's about you over-promising. So we've learned to be humble and apologize when you have to apologize to these musicians that you think you employed. But you are at the wrong.
Yeah.
He did the work. He must get his money.
Yeah.
You can't pay the money. Stop this thing of playing around and lying. Call the person into a meeting or make a phone call if you can't call him into a meeting because maybe it might require you to drive out. You don't have a car or you don't have petrol. Send a WhatsApp message. Bruh, this is the story. I am in trouble, So we had to learn those things, I remember that some of them, we paid them within months for a gig that was done in February. Because it was recorded in February 28. But we had to be honest
Yep.
and tell them exactly what we can do and what we can't do. But I thank God for the relationship we have with them because we've never had to fight with any of them.
That's
But
good.
I must say, some of the relationships were compromised. There were fallouts here
Yes.
and there, you know. And the perception is that because the project was a good success in terms of the recording,
Yes.
we made a lot of money and we were hiding money for ourselves.
They don't even know that the money in the venue doesn't even cover half.
No,
Like,
bruh.
sold out means nothing. People
No,
don't understand that.
no. We thank God for sold out because you know that probably you'll be able to pay
Yeah.
most of your production costs. You
Yeah.
know, but you're not getting anything in your pocket, not unless if you're selling out a 20,000 seater and your production costs are low. I don't even know how you can manage to do that.
You can't.
Because the bigger the number,
Yeah.
the more production you need to cater for that number, you know. So, hey, bruh, it was really difficult.
It was difficult, and I needed us to talk about this. So even the young guys, they shouldn't think it's easy.
No.
It's not like staying in a flat alone, especially when you've got a family. The whole thing changes altogether. Eh?
Kids as well, you know, bruh, these young guys, I'm talking to you guys, brothers and sisters, you are doing very well. It just takes long. Just be patient and be consistent. Sometimes you'll have to go slower.
Yeah.
As long as you're moving forward. I always say, even if you're taking one step a day, as long as it's a step forward,
Yeah.
that's good enough. Sometimes we put too much pressure on ourselves, you know, because you're seeing the success of the people that we think are colleagues in the industry. And the other thing, some people have paid their dues. They deserve to be at the level where they are. Please don't compare yourself. Some people think, you know, when I count my years in the industry and you found me doing it already, you can't really compare yourself to me. It's unfair for you to
Yes.
really even think that because Nqubeko has opportunities in these kinds of platform, why am I not getting them? No, but Nqubeko started playing keys when you are still in your diapers.
I haven't really.
You're just being unfair to yourself. These things take time.
They take a lot.
I don't even want to bring in the prayer element to it that maybe I pray better than you and all of that. No. It just takes time. Most of our guys these days, they just want it today. You know, you just want it today because you want to have pictures to post on Instagram. And it's not even about that because most of the things that we see there, they're not a true reflection of their lives.
Or even the industry.
Yeah,
as it
it's
is.
so glorified, man.
Yeah.
People see us on TV and they're thinking we're killing it financially, and it's killing us financially. It's the
Yes.
opposite. I don't want to sound like I'm seeking sympathy as to the fact that we're struggling. No. I'm not struggling. God takes care of me, and
You're not struggling.
continue
Yeah.
to enjoy God's favor and grace in my life. God's provision, Jehovah Jireh, has been fully revealed in my life, and He continues to be revealed each and every day. He provides for us. But the way He provides, it's not a way that I thought things would work out.
Yes.
It's quite different in the kingdom.
In the kingdom.
You
it
know,
is.
I was saying this statement to one of my fellow musicians. We're just talking about the things of God. Like, there's a way that money moves in the kingdom, and I just don't understand how. You know how money moves in your kingdom? You give me something. You give me money today. You bless me with money, and then before I exit to this door, I'm touched in my heart to give it to him. And I'm like, no,
That was
I was
mine.
working today. I earned this.
Yeah.
But even before I get home, it's no longer in my pocket
Yes.
because the Lord said, give it to so and so. So, and you were worried that, okay, it's almost month end.
Yeah.
And before you realize your month end is taken care of somehow. And that money that you even forgot about that. Oh, I had to take
Gig,
my salary
yeah.
for that gig and became a blessing to this guy in obedience to God. And this thing makes me realize there is a way that money moves in the kingdom of God.
Yeah.
And I haven't fully grasped it. And I'm praying to God every day, Father, I want to live there
Ne?
where money moves according to how you want the finances to move. Because I tell you, the industry has taught us a lot of things.
Yeah.
And somehow they are not working for us.
Yes.
We thought we're going to, let me make an example. I don't know how you survived the pandemic,
Hey, don't
but
get
you're
it.
still here standing,
Yeah.
you know, and probably this was even, I don't know, when did you start with the podcast?
Just
Before or after the pandemic?
after.
So you never thought that after the pandemic you'll be able to start something.
No.
There's so many things that I achieved. My studio, the only studio that I have, my very first studio, I built it during the pandemic.
The one in your house.
It's
No,
not in my
but you-
house. No,
you had
during
one
the
in your
pandemic,
house.
I was chased out of my house because the space I was using was needed because my girls were growing up. So I have a studio
Oh,
somewhere.
you
else.
moved somewhere.
We've achieved so much during that time. And you know how it was. The industry was completely closed. There was no way for musicians to make a living. There were no shows. But I don't know. I still can't even explain it in
how,
detail how I made it.
Yeah.
There is a way that finances move in the kingdom of God. And the day we realize that, we will have the life that we desire for ourselves
Sure.
and for our children as well.
So this thing of you being a giver, Vela, it's true, ne?
Musicians must start giving tithe. Let's start there. Aye, guys, we can't always be receivers, man. You know, I think we exclude ourselves so much as in the body of
Yeah.
Christ. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm just here to play this keyboard. It's like when the pastor is preaching, he's not talking to me, he's talking to them. Yet people are benefiting. Yeah, people are, their lives are being elevated to the next
Change,
level.
yeah.
They're changing. When you hear this, I just said this recently in the prayer, that on the average, an average a Christian that attends service once a week, which is a Sunday, hears a sermon 4 times in a month.
Yes.
Most of our churches now, they have like 2 services or 3 services. So if you're a musician, you probably hear that sermon twice.
Yes.
So on average, you probably hear that sermon 8 times.
yeah.
What are you doing with that word?
Hey,
Someone who hears it 4 times,
their lives are changing.
he's enjoying a fruit
Yeah.
out of that word, that you heard it 8 times,
times.
and there's nothing there's no fruit in your life because you're not concentrated, you're not focused, God is speaking to you about your personal situation. You're probably not even there. You're out sitting there waiting for the altar call
Outside.
and it's so sad that we still talk about this today. Musicians still go out during the word.
Eish.
So I'm talking about how did I get here?
Hey, how did you get there?
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking about giving and receiving.
Yes, exactly. We need to participate.
Ne?
First, I'm a child of God. I'm a Christian before I'm a musician. So I have obligations of a child of God. I have to honor my tithes and my offerings. I have to attend prayer meetings. I have to, if there are cell groups in
groups.
my church, I have to do that. If someone is grieving in the church, I have to go and support. We are not different people that are excluded from these responsibilities. This is very important, because sometimes even musicians complain when they have personal issues that they don't get support. But you don't give support.
But you also don't support.
But generally, we need to outgrow this thing as musicians of. I don't want to sound like I'm bashing musicians, because we get a lot of that anyway.
Anyway,
But let me
yes.
just speak as a big brother, who, from my personal experience, that, man, and by doing all of these things, you create a support structure for yourself as well. You create a family. God has blessed us with a family of Christians, a church, But you need to participate. We need to stop this thing of being receivers. You go to a rehearsal, I want my payment. Where's lunch? When is lunch? And sometimes it's your fellow brother that I'll make an example. Most of us musicians, you become a keyboard player for KG, and then a few years later you become the main artist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, or you are a backing singer for Nqubeko Mbatha, you were singing together, now you're doing your own thing, and you ask your friends to assist you.
Yes.
They understand, the
100%.
fact that how it is. Most of us understand how it is to start your own thing, but sometimes because of this mindset of being receivers more than givers, we can't even be a blessing to our fellow musicians. I'll make an example. Your brother is doing a live recording. You know that they're going to have rehearsals, and you know that probably needs to have 10 rehearsals. And what's a rehearsal fee per day? Maybe it's 1,000 rands. Maybe you can't afford to do that. Give him 500 rands for lunch. That for one day, like, bruh, I know that
I don't have much.
let me just be a blessing to this project that you're doing.
Yes.
I don't have much. Just buy lunch in one of your rehearsal. I know we can afford that.
Mm.
I'm not even talking about big things where you're saying, bruh, I'll take care of backline.
Yeah.
But it should get there.
100%.
Sure.
We're expecting people to to be a blessing to us who are not musicians, but we're not taking care of each other.
Eish.
Even prayer, bruh. Just send me an SMS that I know that you're doing a live recording today. I'm not gonna be there because I have commitments. Even if you don't have commitments, it's fun. They won't ask
Yeah.
what kind of commitments. But I'm just wishing you well.
Well, that goes a long way.
Because you know how difficult these things are. Sometimes we're quick to criticize how bad production was, how bad sound was. But once you've done your own thing, you understand. You know that sound was bad because
Yeah.
you couldn't afford
Correct.
some things. You know, there was just issues. You know, so I'm just encouraging us to, before we look at other people, which they don't respect what we do. We are being exploited as musicians. But if you look within, there's a lot of exploitation within ourselves as well.
Wow.
We need to take care of one another, man.
Yeah.
You can do something.
Ne?
You can pay for my Uber to rehearsal league at least.
At least.
Yeah, just bruh, I'm sending you airtime. Yeah, 100 rand airtime. You know, I know you're organizing. You need time. Let me send you data. Yeah,
You're speaking like, who was it? Buhletela.
yeah.
She was echoing the same things. But you know what? Sometimes here's money for water, man.
Water. It goes a long way. Yeah, it goes a long. But I think we want to do. This might be might be like I don't know how to express this. Might ignite something in someone else. Like, oh my god, I can do something.
Yes.
And you start checking on social media, you see posters.
Yeah.
Like, oh, so and so is doing this, so and so is doing
Correct.
this. Hey, bruh, I'm sending 10 bottles of water for your rehearsal. Bruh. That's an answered prayer to that person.
Correct.
Yeah. It's not food, but it's water. And water is expensive.
And it's required.
It's required. We need it. Yeah.
Wow. So, you know what? You touched something, ne? And I think we practice it. We try and attend shows as much as we can.
Yes.
Yesterday we attended Gaugel. So, Ponzo, this man, when he stayed in Durban, ne? What he's talking about, I got somebody telling me over the phone. But this guy, you rented a place in Durban when you were in duty, ne?
Yes,
A
I
flat.
was staying in a
I said,
flat.
Bria said,
Prayer said, oh my
so
God.
musicians used to come
Yeah.
to his place.
It was a sport.
It was a spot corner.
Yeah.
And you know when you're hosting,
Yeah.
people are here, Tuli Tanyana, and they love.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
need to, and so giving has always been what you do. But you give, Shem. No, but that man is a give. I don't want us to dwell too much on this one.
Yeah.
I want us to talk about something, the music education, right?
Yes.
It's very important because now you studied music, you studied jazz.
Yes.
It's jazz and popular music, right?
Yes. Yeah.
At DUT, right?
Yes.
And you majored in piano.
Yes.
We are living in a different world now, ne? That YouTube has become the biggest institution much. Whatever you want to check, you can actually get
It's
it.
available. Yes.
Why, in the modern day, do you need to, with ChatGPT and all these things, why would you need to go to university as opposed to checking?
Because most of us don't have discipline to check, so we need to be monitored.
Oh.
So school helps with that.
School helps.
Most of us, I think, very few people that I know that have self-taught, that really did that, you know, and they've become, you know. I know a few people. It's possible, but I still feel school is important because it's structured in a certain way, and there are disciplines that you can only learn when there's a teacher in front of you.
Correct. Yeah. And what people talk about is that range. If you had studied music, you will have that range, and as opposed to a self-taught. A self-taught can be as good, but the range.
But we have self-taught that are amazing. Some of them even teaches us at school. They would be visiting us to come and teach in our schools. So I guess it's some gifts are just special.
Ne?
Yeah.
So when you've got a special gift in sometimes,
but it's very rare. It's
very rare.
for a few. So I would encourage people even today, if they have an opportunity to go to school, please go to school. if you don't have that opportunity, then use other resources.
Yeah.
Most of us have we have data that we use on Instagram, so you can just channel it to a skill.
To a skill, ne?
Yeah.
So I want to check something. Ne? Last thing on church. So the church that you go to, I calculated from your house to the church, it's about 30 Ks.
Yeah. You've calculated.
Ah, it's 30 Ks.
I drive to church.
You drive to church.
Yeah.
30 Ks, ne? And you did that for 10 years plus?
It's 17 this year.
17, ne?
Yeah.
17, and there was a video I saw by accident on somebody's phone. I saw your wife cleaning chairs there.
Who took that video? Those things are not supposed. Those things are not for
No,
public
it was
consumption.
they were doing something and it panned. Yandlula, ne?
Yeah.
I was like, hey, reverse. And I was like, so you guys serve on that level?
I don't know why it's a wonder that we serve. It's wrong, but of course it has to be appreciated.
Yeah.
But we need to serve.
No, we need to serve, but I mean,
We have these are one of the responsibilities I was talking about.
but the stature that you have, people will assume that no, you are held at a high pedestal. You're sitting on that nice chair next to Mfundisi. You've got so couches, lapaya.
Nah.
And I never thought you guys
I don't have a
serve.
chair at my church. They tried to give me one, but yeah, I'm trying to protect myself
Ne?
from myself.
No, but I was actually humbled by the fact that you serve on that level.
Ah, man, with everything that we've been exposed to,
Yeah.
it always feels like we need to do these things to protect ourselves from getting our heads too big, And there's a blessing in serving, man. In our church, it's a home.
Yeah.
If I see the paper on the floor, I have to pick it up. If I don't take care of it, no one will. That's my home, And I really want to see it like that.
Like that.
If there's an issue with sound, just as much as we also complain that our pastor don't buy us good sound. But if the pastor buys good sound, where does it takes the money from? He gets it from the church. Who's the church? I am the church. So I think we have to start being solutions, even if it's at regardless of how low the level is, but you can be a blessing. You can say something to, my pastor, I see that we're struggling in this and that, but I think someone is going to say they don't listen. It's fine, but you tried, But I feel like we're always complaining, but we are not on the side of the people who are trying to build. It's okay. Maybe with what we have, we can do better. Let's not buy anything.
Yeah.
But can we use what we have better? Yeah. Let's clean up the cables, guys. Let's run the cables proper. Let's check our cables. I'm sure I can afford to buy an extension cable because I can see that our multi-plugs, they go on and off during the service.
needed,
That doesn't require a meeting.
Yes.
I can just go to macro, buy a multi-plug, and put it where the band station is and sort that out. I can buy a gaffer tape. Imagine gaffer tape kg. How much is the
90
gaffer
rand.
tape? How much?
90 rand.
Oh my God. Let me just buy a gaffer tape. I don't need to go to the meeting with pastor or the board of the church.
Yeah.
There'll be time for that.
Yes.
Maybe be trusted with little things.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll trust you with bigger budgets now. Yeah.
So now this man, he didn't arrive yesterday, ne? I never thought, okay, I knew the other people you were playing for, ne? But my figures on Malaika. Like, I'm not saying what, ne?
God.
But I've seen the band in my like
Yes.
figures on at
Yes.
festivals
Yes.
and the lifestyle.
Yes.
I never pictured you with my Leica and my figures on. And as a matter of fact, when I was still doing sound for festivals, I
Yes.
never even saw you with my Leica, you know.
You probably saw me, but it was just a little boy there. During the years of putting hamba now.
Putting hamba now.
Hey, put my leg behind my name,
Yeah, but now the lifestyle, how
Yeah.
did it not taint you?
Ish, man, I always knew who I am
Yeah.
and bengasabi hlazo.
Yeah.
So it was a different environment.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I must say that Nhlanhla, Ncinza, and Theo, they're very solid people in terms of characters.
Really?
Yeah, very solid people.
Yeah.
They're very solid people. And in fact, I never knew until I worked with them, like, oh, these guys are solid people. It's just that the kind of music they do it takes you to places that I probably wouldn't want to be. I remember
100%.
sometimes we'd go to clubs,
Yeah.
we're performing at 3 a.m. Oh my God, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
But there was a time in my life where I enjoyed that. And
Yeah.
I think I needed that kind of exposure to a point where I had to decide what I want to do, you know. So when I started, I did everything. But as
Even
I grew-
Tandiswa Mazwai,
yeah, I did Tandi, so I did almost everyone during
Busi
those
Msomo.
years. Yes, I did that.
Sure.
I worked with Busi, though I never taught with
Yeah.
her that much. I was still a student.
Yeah.
Uh,
And Temba Mkize.
Yeah, Baptem Amkiza, yes, I've worked with him. So I've had the privilege of doing almost everything.
And so
with
amazing.
everyone. Yes, I even produced an album for him.
Oh, so you did an album.
I did an album for Somis, yes. Amazing person to
Yeah.
work with. Amazing.
Really?
Oh,
No, but yes.
yeah,
Yes, yes.
yeah. His work ethic is
proper. I've
Proper.
worked with him with
Yeah.
stadiums and
Yes.
stuff like that.
Mm.
So now, but before we go there, was it not boring? Because my face was 145.
when I started, because
Yeah.
I was fresh from school, it felt like it was boring.
Yeah.
But the vibe was nice.
The vibe was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have, I think they still have it even today. They are, man, what's the word? They are, man, artistry or performance. They were strong on performance.
Yes, yes,
So even if I'm doing that 145, and I had to do it the way it is on the record.
They wanted like that.
You would still hear it there, but
Yeah.
you couldn't really experiment that
yeah.
much, you know. But I think I enjoyed the set, you know, because my figures are very organized. You know the dancers, structured, the intros and everything. You know, Theo was very, very, very detailed. I don't know how things are today, but I still hear that they're one of the best bands, you know. Very detailed, structured. So I think I enjoyed that. And also, man, the fact that they were hot on stage. The
Yeah.
audience loved them.
Loved
so
them, yes.
as a young musician who's growing, I enjoyed that. Yeah. And we're traveling a lot as well.
Ooh, the traveling Napaya.
And they loved going on the road. That's what I hated. Oh my God, they loved driving. Even if there was an option for flying, oh, they loved driving.
They'll drive, ne?
Yeah, I hope they're not doing that now.
I want to talk about producing with you, right?
Yes.
So, producing has taken a toll. Well, not really a U-turn, but it has changed. So, when I was much younger, good gospel, let's stick to gospel, ne?
Yes.
Producers for me was Mtunzi Namba, ubani?
Babu Sizwe Zako.
Babu Zizwe Zako, Nomakati.
Jabu
Jabu
Kabinde.
Kabinde. Jabu Kabinde. And then Zawa Indo, which band Babu?
Babu Makabane.
Babu Makabane.
Yes.
Because he's the one who brought Abu
Sislengiwe.
Hle. Babu Hlengiwe, not Hle.
Yes.
Eh?
Yeah, it's different.
It's different.
Yeah.
So, I would say producing was selected to, it was like selected few.
Yes.
And you could hear, which, no, this is Mtunzi Namba here.
Yes.
You can hear Babu Sizwe Zako here.
Yes.
There was no
there was
no.
it was just defined.
You defined. You
Yeah,
could
you
hear
know.
with Rebecca Malupi.
Yeah.
Qamuka
Sizwe
lapha,
Zako.
straight.
Vuyomkwena, Sizwe Zako.
You can hear
Yes.
straight. But now everyone is a producer. Everyone can play first keys. I don't
Who
know.
owns a laptop?
Who's a laptop? Abanye bafaka ama-song list kuphela, but we're not talking about that.
Okay.
But
What's your song list, brother?
yeah, but I can make book 50,000. Please now. So anyway, so producers were producers. So now I've seen that producers have changed. Sometimes to the good. I mean, who'd have guessed a drama can be a producer?
Yeah.
Who'd have guessed? I mean,
Yeah.
Sabu
Yes.
produced Ayanda Ntanzi as
Yes,
well.
latest album, yes.
And then Sinigiwe produced Dipiri, which was a big song. So producers don't have to be first keys.
Yes.
Have we lost the essence of producing?
Ish, man. It's quite a challenge when we don't follow the process, you know, because you mentioned Sabu. Sabu's been with me for a long time,
100%.
you know, as a drummer, and he started
MD.
assuming other responsibilities, even before MD. You know, so he started assuming that even before he was called MD.
MD, yes.
Because most of the time people run for titles, they're quick to say, so who's MD here?
Yes,
Am I the MD? No, just assume the responsibility. The title will come late. So he started those responsibilities to a point where actually I was like, how? Wait, This guy is actually emptying this show
This
now.
show, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, he has assumed the responsibilities before a title was given to him. So it was not after a title. He just loved doing work. So what I'm saying is that an obsession around titles is really spoiling things for us because some people are calling themselves producers, but they are not producers. Because if I can ask you, what's your
Definition.
process?
Yes.
A producer must be able to explain their process of working.
100%.
Where do you start?
Yes.
What's your process? What's your process until the master? You know, you must tell us what's your process. And probably they won't be able to explain that. And I'm not talking about getting too technical because some great producers don't know technicalities of music. Some can't even engineer.
Correct.
Some of them don't even know Logic or Pro Tools and all of those. But the great producers, some of them can't even play musical instrument, but they are musical.
They've got the ear, yes.
Yes, they've got the right ear for the
Like
music. So
Robbie, he was also, he had a ear.
yeah, he knew how things should sound as far as music is concerned. And also I've seen MDs, I know they didn't ask me these questions, people who are great musical directors, but because the producer seems like a higher title,
Yeah, get
and
over it,
also you paid better as a producer than an MD, so they would want to call themselves producers. And also I'm talking the gospel. And also I've seen people who loves the title of a producer, they don't want to let go of it. So they would hire a good MD, a good producer, and call them MD. And they won't give them a title of a producer. But when we check the process of work, we realize that this guy actually produced this album.
Also, people who are clever out there.
It's not fair.
It's not fair, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
especially
it's
if we're saying we're doing the work of the Lord. I believe that you just have to be fair. This is how it came about. Ayanda producing Ayanda's record. I'm not blowing my own horn, you know. I've been producing Ayanda's albums since we started. For this one, no, I didn't produce the red one, the Nasimpin.
Oh, that
Yeah.
yeah.
I was supposed to produce that one. First day of rehearsal, I get there, and we're supposed to work. Lebo was here, Lebo
Morolo, yes.
who ended up producing the album. Hey, I was not part of the band, so I started to pull myself out of the band now. So the guys must play, but I'll produce. But I keep on going out for phone calls because I'm planning a show. I am the label. I have to do this and that. To a point where I realized that I'm blocking the progress. And I was like, I'm not going to be able to produce this. I told label, bruh, please take over this thing, produce it. I think second day of rehearsal, if I'm not mistaken, he started running with the thing. And it gave me peace. I could focus on other things.
Correct.
Yeah. Sabu with Ayanda's latest album. Ayanda, we had a meeting in studio where Ayanda was bringing his songs, letting us know these are the songs that I'm going to be doing for the album. So we're running with the songs, we're recording, pre-recording. There were even a few videos we posted of that Ayanda was on the piano showing us his songs. So we starting arranging things like that. Now we're starting planning for rehearsals. As we're planning for rehearsals, already Sabu is running ahead and communicating with Ayanda. And I'm realizing with these guys, they click. And I don't have the time for all these meetings. And I was like, Sabu, you are already producing this thing. Just go ahead and produce it, you know. And they worked very well together. And I think the other contributing factor is that Sabu is already a musical director for Ayanda. So he travels with him on his gigs, you know. So I'm trying to learn this thing of not trying to force myself in a product when it's just not working out. Bruh, I'm the guy who will tell you that I don't think I'm fit for this one.
You know, I was going to there, Guti. Have you ever been, Guti? You know what? This is not me. Because the stomach also speaks, Anish.
That's another thing. It's a challenge and it's a reality, bruh,
Correct.
you know. But I thank God that I'm in a position where I'm able to do that, you know, which is not making an excuse for someone. Bruh, if you can't do it, what's the point of you waste this artist's resources? The album is just not working because it was poorly produced because it was not your turf. I'll make an example. Someone would call me and say, Mr. Mbatha, I need you to produce an album for me. And I'll be like, so what's your style? I don't know them. They're like, I do I'll make an example. He will say, "Mhlamba, I do like traditional gospel, like Ubaba Usipho
Ngqandweni, so-
Makhabe and Ngqandweni." I'm like, bruh, have you seen my work?
Yeah.
I can't do that. I'm not gonna do justice. I'll mess your record up. I'm not a great person. Maybe talk to people like Abo Putpesi, Ingo, people who I know that they have passion for that style and they excel in it. There's quite a number of producers who do that style. But sometimes as producers, because of the stomach politics.
It's a problem.
You wanna say it's a problem and it compromises. Maybe if you want to get a share of that, maybe bring
somebody,
bring someone
yes,
to work
yes,
with you on it,
yes,
and then you can manage the budgets.
The budgets. So now, please break this to us, ne? A layman sitting at home. What is a producer? What is an MD?
Okay, this is according to my
Understanding.
an MD stands for musical director. So this could be just a show, not a recording. So I would say, oh my God, they're gonna slay me on this one.
Actually, it's your understanding of it.
A musical director can produce a show, but a music producer must produce an album, a record. So in other words, I'm a musical director in my church. I have to produce a show for every Sunday at church. Okay, spiritual people, please don't kill me. But we produce shows for Sunday.
100%.
Every rehearsal, because it's a presentation.
Yes.
We pray over it. God anoints it, breathes over it, and it becomes something else.
Yes.
But there has to be showmanship somehow in this thing. There has to be order. There has to be structure.
Yes.
Some musical rules have to be observed for it to be a blessing to you, and brings glory to
Hey, you
God.
had to explain to that one because it's not a show here.
Kill me.
I sure
No,
in shows they say you didn't come for a show, you came for an encounter. Then it gets confusing with how I thought I came for a show. But anyway,
But music is an art.
it is an art.
Yeah,
It
just
is.
as much as it is ministry.
Yes.
And the art part of it has to be respected and honored because it glorifies God.
100%.
And God must be glorified.
Correct.
What's the word?
Holistically.
Holistically, yes. You can't say it's an encounter, it's not a show, and you give us a poor
everything good and
performance.
perfect, and he wants excellence.
And even worse in South Africa, we charge for shows. Okay. Yeah, where were we?
A music director and
a producer. Yes.
So, a person who says, "I don't think this song is gonna work in this repertoire."
So a producer deals with the budget for the album. Producer decides on the personnel. He decides on, when I say personnel, who's the band?
Who's the
producer
band?
decides where we're gonna work. So he has full powers on this. So it's an artist at top, and an artist hires a producer.
Yes.
So everything that the producer does, he does it with an agreement with an artist. So that's why an artist must hire a producer that they trust, because a producer has
Powers.
And as an artist, you must give them powers. You can't hire me to produce your album, but the next thing you tell me that I'm bringing my own band. The
Yes.
truth is, I'm not gonna be able to produce with that because I've never worked with those people.
Because you're chasing a certain sound.
A sound, exactly.
Correct.
You know.
So before we go to, that's our next point, ne? The duties. I want to focus a bit on the music, right? Like some producers, like good MDs and producers, the line is very thin.
It is.
Sometimes you can hear this song works, but the key is not working. So a simple thing like the tempo is not really working.
Yes.
But a good producer, according to my understanding,
Will know.
Somebody who will say, when that touch, we don't even know how to explain. Which no man, the feel of the music, how the end product should be, not just arrangements.
Yeah, the MD can deal with that.
Yes.
Can deal with the arrangements, but the producer must know how to match a good song with a good singer. Yeah. And the producer must know how to match a good drummer and a good bass player,
Yes.
and put them in the room, and they just do wonders. You know, a producer must know. It goes to a point of choosing even engineers. The producer must know who's going to mix the album, and what kind of a mixing engineer we need for what kind of a project. You know,
So a producer doesn't even need to play.
no, he doesn't have to play. Yeah, so you don't need to. You don't need to be okay. You're owning someone said owning a montage and a MacBook doesn't
Yeah.
make you a
A
producer. Oh my
producer.
God.
So
People
MD. So
influence.
now to our next point. Now the like a producer will say no, but this intro, beautiful intro, it doesn't match
the song,
the song.
saying it to the musical
To the
director.
music director.
Yes, yeah, those things happen. Yes.
Okay, always happens.
But the producer must be very musical as well.
Of course.
Because sometimes we see a clash when a producer is not that musical and he criticizes every musical idea that this MD is coming with to a point of frustration.
Yes.
You know, where you can see that there's frustration. This guy, if in fact this guy doesn't like creativity,
Yeah.
you know, it's just boring. You know, it's just crashing everything. You know, so they have to meet at some point.
There has to be a balance. So now there's a bit of an issue with the artist, then the producer.
Yeah.
Which is most of the time is a first keyboard player. Well, a lot of the times.
I don't know.
Things are changing now, but it's so the producer is not only given the budget for the band, they're given budget for the food, for the sound, light, staging, and they take over everything.
So are they becoming an event company now, or
But that's what they do now. I don't know if you've
do they even decide on the venue?
well, they'll have influence.
So they're show producers now.
They're show
They're not just
producers.
music producers.
The
Okay,
producers,
maybe they have a gift on doing that.
because now they come to some of us and they say, "Hey KG, I've heard somebody who did. Hey KG, now the budget for lighting is actually 50, and screens 50." But I was like, "But she told me that it's 80." No. And then when I started questioning, I got cut out. You know? But what I'm trying to put out there is the showmanship and what we see. That process, is it not limiting the artistry? Because
This is a character issue.
Yeah.
What you're talking about. This is a character issue because
Yeah.
there is a way that it can be done properly. We are really helping this artist because you have experience
Yes.
and contacts.
correct.
But I believe that you should be saving money for your artist.
Hey,
Yeah.
awuhlukile.
No. But that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
Save the money for your artist,
yeah,
so they see value in you and they pay you what you deserve.
Sure.
Because the thing about things that are done under the table, they always come out somehow.
Bese kushubile.
And then trust issues and the relationships are broken and the reputations and all of that, you know. So it's such a pity that there are ways, there are things spoke about how money runs in the kingdom of God, ne?
Yes.
And what we found when we
Yes.
got into the industry. We found those kinds of things
Yes.
where you are given 100,000 budget to do a full show and you just go to your uncle, a friend, to ask for a favor, you know, and you know you cut here and there so that you can pocket some of the
Correct.
money. And most of the time it compromises the entire production.
Production.
And it's sad when you get hear a word from the artist that no, I actually allocated 80 for you, and this guy is asking for 50.
Yeah.
That whole 30 is going to his pocket, and this guy has already been paid his fee. So I would. This is a character issue. Yeah, this guy must come to the men's prayer.
Straight.
Yeah, we need to pray and God help him to be an honest businessman. You know, so I would say we need to be the people who are representing our artist. If he says I have $1 million for this,
Hey, don't you wish?
yeah, let me speak where I want to be for this, and then I come to you, KG. I need a lighting. Maybe we do the splits of the budget. I have 100,000 for lighting, and you say actually for this kind of a project, and maybe get at 30 grams more. I should be negotiating
Correct.
why?
Why?
Why 30 more?
Yes.
You know, I'm saving money for my. How would it be, man, if you as an artist, you hire me, you give me R500,000 for a project, and I bring some money back to you and say, man, use this for marketing, because there's still a journey after.
Ooh, a big one.
Yeah.
Actually,
And-
that's where the work starts. Eh?
Oh, bro, I'm telling you, how great will that be? And it secures you. It secures me. The next gig, because you know that I want to work with that guy. He's fair. He's straightforward. His yes is yes. His no is no.
Yeah.
And I would assume that you paid your producer fair. So I think it begins with our negotiations. We must settle this thing first of paying our producers well.
Yeah.
Sibhadale nje kahle bafowethu, sibe happy, so that we don't try to get a cent from here and the temptation. So
No, I heard you. I just want to talk about projects that you've produced, right? The first one was obviously you produced Joyous.
yes.
And let me tell you, look, your work impeccable. But my Joyous that I've enjoyed under you, Joyous 10,
I did not produce that.
but you were part of it.
I was part of it.
Yeah, but-
I started producing, I think,
12.
14.
No, even 12. 12. Bogu. When Bega came in, it was
Was that? Which
12.
songs were there?
ES Heilig.
That's
12.
Is that 12?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, anyway, 10, but even 10, you were very hands-on. But,
Yeah, but I was still not
yes. But 12,
pronounced a producer. I was
yeah,
MD.
12. That's when Sabu came in.
Yeah.
That was when Bega came
Oh
in.
my God.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
Yes, that's when Bega came in. I was like, wow. Hello, Mchitalona. And then I think you paid it all.
Okay.
You did, he paid it all.
Yes, yeah.
But the ultimate Joyous, I think that you really left everything down was 15, the one in Durban.
My favorite.
That one, the band.
Favorite.
My goodness.
That's my favorite.
It was, I think Sia was there.
Sia.
Bega was there.
Johan was
Johan
there.
Mteto.
Smoo was there.
Usbu on organ.
Yeah.
Johan Mteto.
We had 4 keyboard players.
Four
Oh
keyboard
my
players.
God. What do we do? What do
I
we
used to
do
call
with
that
4
man
keyboard players?
the not Ubani Corey Henry. From
Who's that?
Johan Mteto.
Amazing.
That guy,
amazing keyboard player.
I need to talk to that guy. I found him fixing a car at baseline. I'm like,
Yeah,
that guy-
exactly.
That guy looks like he.
You'll find him under the truck, fixing a truck.
Like this. Then next thing he comes for a rehearsal. I'm like, oh. But anyway, so those were my favorite Joyous that you did. Ne? When I look at them, I'm like, when I listen to that, especially the Joyous 15, Wangen's Muntu.
Yes.
The guy did that song.
Yeah.
That was my favorite song. That guy that sounds like Donny
Donnie
Kagan.
McClurkin, yes. Melusi.
Melusi.
Yes.
I remember that song. Like Joyous 15. Ne?
Yes.
Then you went and you produced Iron Dance.
Yes.
Izobuthathela izandla zethu.
No, that was a studio album.
Yeah, studio
that was
album. I was like, there's something with this guy.
It was not popular.
It was not popular there. And then he came to be the superstar that he is.
Yeah, a superstar. Yeah, he pronounces himself a superstar. A gospel artist. who
I know
calls
he's a
himself
superstar, that guy. I love him on stage. His range. He's like that guy.
It's great.
Like
Amazing.
he's great. He's great. I'm not gonna go to where you met. I think you've relayed the story enough. And then you did Judith Sipuma.
Yes.
When you did Judith Sipuma, I said,
Oh,
I
that's
need
nice.
to be there.
Yeah, nice.
Because I remember I ran into your wife outside. She's like, she was like, I know you, but no.
Galriff.
Galriff,
yes,
Ellery.
yeah.
So we sat there, and I couldn't believe you produced a jazz artist and the gospel that you took out. I was like, wow. What was your thought process producing such an artist?
Firstly, it was a great joy producing Judith Sipuma.
Yeah.
She's a big jazz artist. She's done very well.
Very,
you know.
very
So I've done a few of her gigs.
Yeah.
On her jazz world.
Yeah.
So I would fill in for his guys if they're not available. And then when she wanted to do a gospel album, she always said to me, one day I'll do a gospel album and I want you will be my producer. So she called me my
Yes.
producer. I'm like, oh, okay. They all love to say
Yeah.
that, And then the time came, called me into a meeting, like, Nqubeko, I'm doing this album, and it's gonna be live album. I'm serious, yes. So we started discussing songs and all of those kinds of things. But it was joy doing that album from beginning to end. I worked so well with Sis Judith, and she took good care of us.
She's a professional, man.
She's very professional. It was amazing. The songs were great. She's singing a lot of Sifila
hymns,
hymns. Oh, but you could feel it in the album
Strict.
that we just had a great
Strict.
time.
This one.
Yeah, you have it there.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were asking me what was my thought process.
Yes.
I just wanted to bring out a Judith she's from Limpopo, ne?
Yes.
Yes. Just to bring up, because when you hear her singing Abu Mutuadi, she's singing her vernac, you're like, oh wow, she does it so well. So I also wanted to bring that out in the gospel, and I was glad when she brought Abu Tlomoya.
Boya.
Nagi Bomang, she brought all those hymns. You singing it?
Which one?
Yeah. But the process, man, I was great. I was working with Sugwini Bafana. He's pastor now.
The drummer,
I was working with Bega and Mguni. Who was on guitars? Was it Divine?
I think it was Divine.
Yeah.
I think
It was Divine, yes. And he had great singers.
Oh, Mangale, yes.
She chose the best. Yeah.
And I want us to jump because I'm cognizant of time.
Yes.
Olani.
Olani's tall.
It's tall.
Yeah.
There's a song, Jehovah Jireh, that I love. Jehovah, something Jehovah.
I'm trying to think on that album.
On that album, yes. What's that song, Pons?
In fact, yesterday I was singing one of the songs he did with Ndowozo there on that album.
Jehovah Elohim, Mikadesh, Uyingwele.
Oh, that's Stelo Moya.
Yeah.
That's Stelo Moya.
But you did that one, ne?
I did that one.
That
yes.
album,
I
ne?
did that one.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That song, ne? It's in my playlist today. But I feel like, yes.
Yeah.
In a
vibe pictures. He loves that.
Yes.
He's kind of old school like that.
But he never took it all the way, man. I thought I would see more of him.
I hope he's watching.
Yeah, no, he needs to do something.
I don't think Stelo has time because he has a full-time job. He's in the corporate, doing very well there. So, but he loves music and he's so gifted. I brought him for the rehearsal project, and he came there, he killed, and he left.
He left. Yeah.
Amazing, and songwriter as well.
And then Deborah.
Deborah Fraser.
Deborah Fraser.
Yeah, that was a challenging one. Yeah. I don't know why Deborah Fraser called me to produce an album.
Because that's not your style. I was thinking.
And she waited for me.
Yeah.
She had been approaching me for years, and I would make excuses, this and that. And also some respect with reverence. Siyabasabo, Ma'am Deborah. Deborah Fraser,
yeah.
But she like, okay, it's fine. I'm going to wait for you. I'm like, oh my God, lo mama, she won't stop. And eventually we got into studio to start working on the album. It was not. We fought a lot of time in studio. But she was like, but so we'll fight about content, scripture. So I'm trying to align things. No, Ma'am Deborah, you can't say that. You know what? You see, I'm like, but you brought me here. You knowing who I am, you know.
Yes.
So I was blessed to have produced, I think, one of her last albums.
Yeah.
I think probably third or second last. It was fun, man. It was also a learning.
That's different, eh?
Very different. I just enjoyed.
You can't hear Nqubeko.
No. I had to pull him out of that, you know. And the gurus of that style, I'm sure they will have a lot of
things to say
about that album. But I think the greatest thing that I learned from there is the way they arrange their vocals. You know, working with Uneli, Mzwake, and there's another lady. She's big now, Jerusalem lady. Jerusalem. She used to be a backing singer.
I see her, but
they were amazing. When they get in the booth there, and they start singing, and how their harmonies move on top. of one and another. They just know how to do that vibe, because it's not a vibe that I was exposed to, but I learned so much.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like God sometimes orchestrates these things for our own benefit. Sometimes you think you got a gig,
Yeah.
but no, the gig got you because
Yeah.
you needed to be there. So
Correct.
that one is one of those
No, that's beautiful.
for me.
And then, of course, and Tshwane Gospel Choir.
Yes.
Tshwane Gospel Choir. Did you listen to their
Previous albums.
previous albums?
Yes.
Especially the first one.
Yes.
And to where it was, to where it is now. It's been great for me to see the change
Yes.
and how they developed.
Yes.
But I think their sound was the first album.
Yes.
But you came and you did amazing work. You came Nabo Sabu.
Yes.
And
I had to bring my team.
Yeah, you brought your team,
Yeah.
and I think you revived something.
Yes.
In my observation, because I was like, hey, because I love it so much.
Yes.
And then you came, and I wonder how you produced Sidi Chauke's Clap and Tap. It was different.
Hey man, so I did 2 albums with
Yes.
them. So the first one, the
State.
Pretoria Theatre,
Yeah.
State Theatre, yes. Then I did the second one at the Carnival City.
Carnival,
That was the big one. They got awards on that.
They got
one.
awards,
I think
yeah.
people started like, hey, who are these people?
Who are these people? Yeah.
Ah man, I think what I saw when I started with Tshwane is potential. Yeah, I saw potential, and I still feel like they don't even see their potential the way I see them.
No, 100%.
You know, Tshwane has so much potential. They are unique. The fact that they are Tshwane, they're from Tshwane.
They're from Tshwane.
You know, and they sing the language from that place as
and
well.
you also get that Tshwane music is different.
Yeah, it's a different vibe, you know, and songwriting from that group was amazing, because most of the songs were written there, you know, and I am a strong believer in respecting when you come to a group.
Yeah.
Don't try to bring your songs because
Yeah.
you want to get royalties and all of that. You know, I don't
Yeah.
believe- if the songs are working, that's the first thing that I do when I get into a place where there's a structure that's already existing. What are you doing? What do you have? So I listen to their songs like, oh, they're great songs, yeah. But man, that album was amazing.
It's amazing.
We
Yeah.
had a great
Especially
time.
the
Even
last one you
recording.
did.
Check the videos, man. There's a song that says, Taula, Taula, Taula,
Eish.
Taula. You must hear what Slash on is doing there.
No,
and just everybody, man.
No,
just with the part.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And then there was Mbambo's albums. I remember the first DVD that you did.
Filled.
That was not the first one.
Peter Marisbeck.
Marisbeck, where
We're still kids.
where Jacob Zuma came. Jacob Zuma was there.
He was still he was not a president.
not
then.
yet. But he was there. When the camera was panning, I was like, "No, I'm sure it was yellow." Did you guys invite him?
Yes, I think there was some sort of a relationship between the Mbambos and the family,
Yeah.
the Zuma family. So I was still not part of the family. I was not part of the family then, so I didn't know a lot of things. I just knew the musical part of things.
You were there, but you were not there.
You would say that.
Okay, well,
I was a silent partner.
One time. At that time, it was out with you guys are together. You know?
It was it.
Wow, we could see.
2007.
Because at the end, when Yeah.
No, 6.
yeah, because at the end when she introduced the band,
Yeah.
when it got to you, I was like, we could see, yeah. There's
What were you doing
butterflies,
there?
yeah.
What were you doing there?
No. I just saw the DVD.
Okay.
There's no DVD. You can't talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah, they might not all be here, but there was.
Oh my God.
So
Ah,
I
we
can even
kids
remember
there.
the band.
We were just kids that was given by Babylon Random Kids an opportunity to express themselves
Yes.
through music, because it just took care of everything. We just get to rehearsal and just do things that we always wanted to do in the
yes,
music, you know. So
It
I'm
was
grateful.
still under LME, ne?
Yes, it was under Linda Random Kids Entertainment.
Ne? It must have been tough leaving after that, because for me that was one of my my favorite albums. Because
Hey, but it was raw. Even the mix was.
It was wrong,
Oh my
yeah.
God, I can't even listen to it today. I'm like, oh, what are we doing there? But the music was nice, and we're
what
still
songs
growing.
did you have? Bambelela.
Bambelela,
Telisela,
yeah,
ne?
and similar Pafuti came
Yes.
from that, yeah.
Correct. It was Bafana on drums. It was
Masondo on bass,
Sabelo Masondo.
yeah, with Chunky on guitars,
Chunky.
and who was on keys? Johan was on keys with me then.
Johan Mtejo.
Yes.
Because he took a solo.
Yes,
He
yes,
took
yes.
a
I
solo.
remember,
And I was
yes,
like,
yeah.
"Ay, nang lo mutho." Anyway, my brother, I want us to talk about your albums now as we
Yeah.
about to conclude, right? Needless to say, I've been following your music. I've been following your music because I've heard you did solos good Joyous, ne? Like Akasoza, you did it there. He paid it all, you did it there.
Yes.
And Tulad. Tulad, you did Joyous 10, I'll never forget it because SK was there.
Oh, yes. Oh,
And then you
yes.
had Vuyo Shiburi playing it.
Yeah.
And I've not, look, Begam Tetwa, Bega, he's a beast.
Yes, yeah.
But the way that man played Tuladu on
so-
bass,
so good.
yes. The way he was sliding the
Exactly.
bass.
He was enjoying it.
Oh my goodness. I used to, you know how many times I've played that DVD? Ne?
Yes.
Oh, somewhere. Nah.
Okay. Oh, okay.
How many times I've played that? Because you guys did Sifi for as well.
Yes, yeah.
Was that your arrangement with SK?
It was actually Vuyo and SK's arrangement.
Really?
They brought the song. Oh, you would. Hey, Bright Rehearsal. When it's time for that song, they take over the rehearsal.
I'm telling you. Yeah.
It was him, SK. I think it was the two of them.
Yeah.
But to
SK, gone too soon, that man. Gone too soon. Gone too soon.
Sure.
There was a group, the Prestige Sevens. That's where I met SK.
Oh, okay.
But, from Pretoria.
Yes.
But I Nasuke up. So you started Forever
I'll worship.
right?
Yeah, studio album.
Summer Crowns. And you got a nomination for Summers, ne?
Yes, I got a nomination there.
The
Yes.
Summers. That's where you saw that.
I bet there was no way I was gonna get that award. It was too.
No, it was heavy. It was heavy. And I'm glad you recognize the impact of Swisungwan.
Yeah, no. That guy was a king during his time.
They say if you want to see that in gospel, right, let government book you. That man
Okay.
used to do government gigs.
I will go ahead. No, but he was.
Vala, 12 midnight.
He was big, not for nothing. You see him on stage.
That
How
man.
becula lo muntu.
No. And his energy.
Ngiyalapha.
That is his older one.
Oh man.
I've got his DVD. But anyway, please tell me the story of Tuladu,
Tulu.
where that song came from.
It's a song that I never wrote. People think I wrote. I actually co-wrote with a lady from Durban called Ayanda. We used to go to the same church. She was an amazing writer. She wrote Tulu. I think there must be another song that she wrote that I've recorded. So it's an African lullaby. It was an adaptation from Tula.
Oh.
She created a song from there.
So
Yes.
I want to tell you a story.
Yeah.
My friends, Melusi's dad found us because obviously we used to check you guys. And you were singing Tuladu this time, still on Joyous. His dad comes and then he listens to the song. Tuladu. We're watching it and I'm marveling at how the song was played. Then he leaves. He says, "Akunangoma la." He
Yeah.
left.
Yeah.
I said, I engaged him. But what do you mean? Tuladu, he left. No. Be still. Like, oh, is that what the song meant? So for yena, he never
Tuladu,
gospel.
yeah.
Kanjani.
It was a different vibe
It
as
was-
well. In terms
yeah.
musically, it was
Yeah.
kind of for gospel
Yes.
music listeners. Like,
So he never got it. Yeah. I wanted to say that.
Yeah.
In his head, he was saying, "I know, I'm moya la." But I loved it. But there was a show you were doing in KZN, right? And then in the middle of that show, I don't know, if it was middle or before, your brother was driving from Joburg coming to attend your show, and he never made it.
It was in Durban, 2005.
in
That's my big
2005.
brother, yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
your
He
big
died
brother.
on his way to the show.
To the show.
Yeah, in Durban. That's a difficult one.
Ne?
Yeah. So it was my second show. I did a show 2004, my first show in Durban, and then I did another one 2005. It was 2 nights, Friday and Saturday. So he was at the show on Friday.
Yes.
And then on Saturday, so on Friday, and we were in the same flat. We slept in that flat in the Bria. So the last time I saw him, he left in the morning to go cut his hair. And then I went to prepare for the show, and then we went to the show. My mother was there. Your late mother. Yeah, these
Yes.
people have left.
Ash.
So she was there. So after towards the end of the show, I do my vote of thanks, and I say my mother is here, my brother is here. I start introducing them and all of that, and it was dark in the audience, so I couldn't see. So I wanted my mom to stand up and wave, and they said no, she has left. And okay, look, maybe she was just tired. She had to go. all of that. And after the show, they grabbing me, they putting me in the car. We have to go. Your mama wants to see you at the hotel where she was staying because we don't. Our home is not in Durban.
Yes.
And I thought, oh, maybe she's not well. And I started making phone calls. Where's Pa? My brother was Pa.
Yes.
Where's Pa? So I'm trying to get everyone because mom is not well. Want to see my mom was not a sickly person, but
Yes.
she must have been not well.
Correct.
So when I get there, I'm like, oh my God, it's Pa Oshonile. Oh my God, yo. Yeah, that was difficult because it was the first time for us to lose a sibling. I never
Correct.
thought something like that would happen. It was my older brother. He was more of a light in our home because he had just finished university, just bought his first car. You remember when this thing of personalizing number plates came in?
Yes.
Yeah, he had his car.
There was a guy. He was driving a Colt at some point.
It was a Colt, yeah. Hey, you know, so you know things about me. It was just Power One ZN. Yo, so it was a pride, you know. When we saw him, how he progressed in life, we were like, oh, in our family, we're gonna be great people, you know. So when he died, it felt like something really great was taken away from us, you know. And I remember even after that, I had to deal with a lot of sickness in my body. Even my pace of running just got slow. I was so discouraged, you know.
I can imagine.
You know,
because the support your siblings gave you.
And the other thing of thinking that he died on his way to my show. You know, the enemy will use anything against you. Like if there was no show, my brother would still be alive.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, those kinds of things, you know. But man, God helps us, man, through grief. And we talk about it today. We talk about him today with love. You know, God takes us through grief. You know, and I'm saying that because someone might be blaming themselves. You know,
correct.
We are not in control of everything. You know, some things are just beyond us. But God is an ever-present help in time of need when we need Him to help us, to be a comforter and to help us stand up again, you know, and run our race. But I won't lie, my pace, I just am slower down. Yeah, I'm slower.
Do you know this song Tulu? I've always, I don't know, maybe it was in my head. After I understood that story, I thought the song Tulu was closely knitted to that.
I don't know. There's no connection that I remember, but some of the apparently some things happen subconsciously. I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know, ne?
I wouldn't know for sure.
Sure. And this man is time, ne? Because we understand you need to go. Sentiments of a Worship live DVD. Do you know what I love about that DVD? When I heard that you're doing a DVD, I remember on Facebook I inboxed you. I said, hey man, who's doing your lighting? Because I just wanted to do the lighting. But the lighting came out well. I was like, okay, it's fine. But what I loved, because at that time there was a preconception with Zulus work with Zulus.
I remember that thing.
You know? And then this man, Nqubeko Mbatha, not just anyone, brings Lebo Morolo from Pretoria. I was like, this is the beginning of great things.
And after working with him, please don't lose your chain of thought. I actually asked myself, what took me so long to work with this guy? Because I was like, oh, wow, amazing. What an experience.
Second keys. Listen to the first Tshwano Gospel Choir. Hear that guy molded that project. So for me, it was a change. It was more like a paradigm shift. I was like, okay, so KZN artists are starting to work with a Tswana boy from Hammanskraal. It was so beautiful besides how beautiful the music was, ne? And I got to hear Mnguni play first keys. I was like,
yes.
This guy is.
That was a wonder to many people.
No, it was. So the question I want to ask you, because it was the first time I saw you step out and standing. No, you did it with your wife, Joyous, where you did a duet. But this time you were alone, standing there without the confine of a keyboard. How was that change for you?
Difficult. It's still difficult even today. Difficult.
Ne?
I tell you, keyboard is my comfort zone, has been, it still is.
Yeah.
But at some point I have to go to the front, you know. I think if I get a chance to go to the front, I get a nice player to play for me. I do it, you know. It's not easy.
It's not easy, ne? And then, okay, that was my highlight of that album. But I loved how Sabelo Masondo still played for you.
Amazing.
That guy's touched, ne? I can't get over it. And he played it. That album is still so dear to me.
It's still a favorite of many.
I'm telling you.
It feels like to most of the people who follow my music, it feels like I haven't done a better album than that. So I still have to do a live album for that. That will beat that album.
But then you broke my heart. After that, you did Heaven's Way. You go back to studio.
Ah!
I had attitude towards that album. Ne?
Oh my God! Because it was more like an anticlimax.
How I was like, manje.
I'm sorry.
Then, but you did a song. It was a song of the week a couple of weeks ago with Bonoja.
Oh yes,
Heal Our Land.
Yes, yeah.
That song.
Amazing artist.
Unalangela, kulo mhlaba, kulo mhlaba, kulo mhlaba.
My.
I was like, that guy is a jazz artist. Eh? He plays guitar.
Yeah. What does he call it? Swati. He calls it something,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah.
But it must take a special ear to see that this person can really come and render this song. It's not just anyone. Because
I'm glad it worked.
no. I love that song. I love that song. Like
man,
even the fact that Sicula Ngeswati.
Yes.
Beautiful. And the only album I did not listen of yours was and I'm gonna be honest because I found it yesterday. The
Devotion.
I don't know how I missed that one.
It was released
COVID.
during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I missed
No,
that
but I
album.
blame myself. I don't think I did work on
Enough,
the
eh?
project. Yeah, no, I blame myself. Yeah.
But the rehearsal,
Yes.
beautiful concept.
Mm.
But I feel like with the digital world
Mm-hmm.
and YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of behind the scenes that you left out. You must remember you are also guiding worship teams.
Yes.
You are guiding other projects. I thought you'd tell us how you cue in horns.
So in other words, I didn't give you a full rehearsal.
Yes.
You know, my problem was
Yeah.
I'm not making an excuse,
Yeah.
but I'll do better next time. I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah.
about. I call people to a rehearsal, but I didn't give them enough rehearsal because I was too conscious of the fact that I need to present something to my
Correct.
audience, a show.
Yes.
You know. But I'm the one who said it's a rehearsal. So I don't think they were gonna blame me for getting into a rehearsal where we really break things down.
Correct.
Just a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think I was just too conscious of the fact that they must get some sort of presentation. Yeah,
100%.
exactly. I think on the next one, for this one, we came to the show 70% prepared.
Yeah.
We did 30 in front of the audience. For the next one, I'll come at least maybe
No,
40.
even if you do it two parts, where you're cooking the music,
Yeah.
then you say this key is not working.
Yeah.
People need to understand that. No, man. Sometimes drop it down a register.
I hear you exactly.
Guitar.
Just take them in there.
Yeah, guitar. Yeah. but are we groovy? Like
Yeah.
people don't understand, especially in
Yeah,
churches.
the
because
making.
The making.
Mm.
It will be it will be a learning curve because you are grooming worship teams. Like pastors are your biggest shareholders. Like, I'm telling you because
Yes.
I was listening to it and I also want to find out who comes up with that horn section.
Yes.
That part.
Yes.
Like if you
Yeah.
does somebody say stop?
Yeah.
I'm hearing something here.
I just posted recently because we just did a release of Ndozo, one of some of the videos from it. We call it Praise Medley. I just posted that most of my horn section on horn arrangements, if not all, are done by Slash Horns. Sianda Zulu. So he does them.
Yes.
I think the last time I arranged horns was on Sentiments of a Worshipper.
Yes.
I can, but it's just
And Joyous 10 with those two white guys.
I know those guys were arranging for themselves.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Adam and Bears, they did their arrangements, but I did my arrangements on Sunday.
They came late, ne? It was nihlanganisile at the end.
Yeah, they always. It was the workflow at Joyous because it was a new thing even for them to use. There is a way that you have to be organized when you're working with horns in string sections. There are special pieces in the music, and most of us were not exposed to them until we started working with them. So, what I do. Sianda arranges music for horn parts for me. I don't arrange, so I don't take that away from him. It's an amazing arranger. Has been doing a great job for us at Coco Records, and I prefer it that way. I would tweak one or two things, but hardly. He always gets it right.
You guys are doing with horns, ne? Like in South Africa when we do horns, I'm like, but you guys, ne? You know, you should know that our influence from Americans.
Yes. No.
You get the more horns.
Yes. Yeah.
But now you guys are
Yeah.
there
We're doing
now.
it at home now.
Now you guys are bringing it home. Like horns were like, okay, prompeta says.
Yeah,
But now,
yeah, no.
now
We had to find a place. Man,
straight. But I had prepared 7 pages. Ne?
Yeah.
We did 2.
Because I talk too much.
No.
First segment I spoke a lot. The point was like, hey, no, I think now I have to stop.
No, but you did. Look, it's things I wanted to hear.
Okay.
It's things I wanted
Yeah,
to
you
hear.
were not stopping me, so I was like, hey, if he's not stopping me.
I must. Remember, it's your opportunity. But thank you for. But before you go, do you think this is your chance now to reflect on yourself? Do you think the younger guys are seeing the work that you've put into gospel?
Some do, some don't.
Ne?
I think in it's a challenge in our country that we don't recognize.
Yeah.
And I would like to apologize to my fathers if I did the same.
Yeah.
I feel like, I'll make an example. My name can't be mentioned with Abo Babumtun's number. We can't say the producers Nqubeko Mbatha, Babumtun's number. No, I'm not in that league.
Yes. Abosizwe zakho,
Obaba
they-
lawo,
obaba,
yeah.
kuphela.
Yeah, but I hear a lot of that today with the young guys, like they mentioning themselves with some of us. I'm like, no, but bro, but
you need to work.
no, but boy, you still have a long way
need
to
to
go.
work. You
You know,
need to
even
work,
that which seems like success is still not success. You've just it's in the phezulu,
Yes.
you haven't really gone deep. You know,
Correct.
I think we can do better in recognizing those who've gone
ne?
before us. You know, while they're still alive, and just know your place.
100%.
Yeah, I'm not saying that because I'm trying to find a space somewhere. I don't have issues with insecurity,
Yeah.
but sometimes I feel like we can do better when it comes to honor.
Honor, ne?
Yes, yeah.
All right. You see, on the podcast,
I can't be fighting for a seat with Umfundisi
Mnamba,
Namba.
you can't.
Yeah, with Ubabusizwe Zakho. No, I have to let go of the seat. He must get the first seat.
impela.
Yeah.
No, but on the podcast, we want to really recognize. Actually, Ubaba Mthunzi was supposed to come. We talk on
Yes.
WhatsApp. Ngizoza.
It's difficult to get.
Even Sabu told
Mfundisi
me.
Namba, if you hear this, please,
Please
I'm
come
just
through.
ngiyabacelela.
Please,
Mfundisi.
please. Even Sabu told me, I said, "Yabona, Ubaba, good luck."
Oh, man.
But he's so much knowledge.
Oh,
that
there's so much,
that he needs to-
man.
but-
He needs to release it, man. We need it.
impela. But my brother, we appreciate you. The
Thank
work
you.
you've put in gospel music.
Thank you.
And the fact that you came here, ne, is an honor.
Yes.
Your communicate like this man, like you know, there's smaller artists ne, who give me headache, and I look at big artists, I'm like, but guys, this is what.
Maybe when I was still small, I was giving other people headaches too. I'm saying that it defends to them.
But we appreciate you, my brother.
Thank
ne?
you, brother.
The last question I need for you, if Nqubeko Mbatha was not born, what would the world miss out on? I think I've got answers, but this is your time to gloat.
If I was not born,
Yeah.
what would have happened to Joyous celebration after Pastor Mthunzi's number? I don't know.
Don't know.
Shame on Togozo Mbambo.
Ow. I think she'll argue that shame on you.
She's gonna say that shame on you.
Shame on you. I think
Well,
I was not gonna say this. Ever since that lady came to your life, even your appearance, nje, that woman has done beautiful to you, ne? Because I observe and I study people. And I'm looking at Nqubeko through the years. Even the way you guys dress together, you can see. You can see.
Siyamesha.
She's very stylish. Ne? No, she is.
Okay.
Is she not?
She is.
Oh, you the stylish one.
No.
I've seen you from Joyous 10. Ne?
Yeah. Man, why are you taking me there?
I've seen you from Joyous 10
Oh.
to where, and I look at you, I'm like,
my God.
like your wife has done one.
We're supposed to do that to each other when we marry.
100%.
Yeah, we
You
need
did that on the music part.
Yes, even in life, yeah.
Even life, she's. I think she's
Man,
done.
she-
Great. So we appreciate her. And on the podcast, right? We've got a sponsor,
Yeah.
Little Tolaka.
Yeah.
My body, my treasure.
Okay.
So this my producer said we need to have one. It's a shower gel.
Oh, nice.
Igeza nezono le.
Because of this one.
It's a shower gel, plus it can also be a bath foam.
Okay.
So I think
thank you,
she'll
man.
also appreciate it. So we've got 2 for you. So I'll give you another one. So this is from us to you.
Thank you so much.
Please use it if you like it.
Show your body, your treasure.
Your body, your
Shower
treasure.
gel.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Gezeng,
Thank
I
you so
uzoyizwa, man.
much. Ngizoyizwa, ne.
Ama-arrangements
Ngizoba
aphuma
fresh.
lapha.
Thank you so much.
But
brother.
from the podcast to you, we also have a hot and cold.
Oh,
It keeps hot things hot.
beautiful things.
Hot things hot, cold things. The modern day flask, but in a style.
Okay.
Proverbs 27:17. Iron sharpens iron. I think you have been that iron that has been sharpening a lot of us. So that's the reason why you came here, and it would be amiss for you to go without this. So this
thank
is
you so
from us
much.
to you.
Thank you so much for the gifts.
Yeah.
Wow, I love gifts.
I know you love this.
Yeah, thank you so much. Oh,
But
wow.
from the bottom of our heart, Baba Mbatha, thank you very much for honoring us. And I say Baba Mbatha because one of your band members says he's not South African. I don't want to give him away. I said, how is he on rehearsal? He said, no, that guy, he knows his stuff, but he's a Zulu man, eh? Ukanj, so that's the reason they call you Baba. I've seen a lot of people use a Baba Mbatha. Baba Mbatha. So it means your discipline, your structure, everything.
Yes.
But thank you very much for joining
Thank you
us.
so much, brother. Thank you so much to the viewers. Thank you for viewing this. Please share it with everyone, and I pray that it becomes a blessing and an inspiration to you.
Hallelujah.
Siyabonga.
Ladies and gentlemen, other than that, akhoto ibe lelona.